Hoi hoi! It's Lewis again, and here's another video in my recommending books to Pinoy Big Brother Housemates series. And honestly, for me, this is long overdue because these two housemates were my favorites, were my biases in PBB Kumunity 10 teens. So, who are they? Well, they're none other than RobLuke. Hurrah! Hurrah to the RobLuke, hurrah to Team Brit, hurrah to the dolls, hurrah! Okay, so these two guys are like my favorites. Back when I was watching PBB 10, the teens edition, and I was really rooting for them, and I'm so glad that at least one of them made it to the finals, made it to the big five. So congratulations to you again, Rob. It's been more than a year since, you've become a fourth big placer, so congratulations. I really hope all the best to you. And now, this video, I'm going to be recommending books to Luke and Rob. So let us begin. I know that Luke was reading in one of the PBB episodes, Crazy Rich Asians. So as a start, what I'm going to be recommending Luke would be for him to continue the Crazy Rich Asians series. You gotta continue reading this, man. Read the entire trilogy. I think that you're gonna be enjoying them. This one's a little bit more drama and more intense kind of anthology, but it's still okay. It was my least favorite, but I think you might enjoy it. And this one is so beautiful. I love that they mentioned the Philippines here. They mentioned, I think, Palawan, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely recommending for you to continue this one, Luke. And I also recommend Luke something a little bit more like intense. And I think this is something that he's gonna like, something dystopian and something that's not too heavy. It's young adult, so it's great for teenagers. So relatively, it might be an easier read for him. That would be the Shatter Me series. Now, I'm going to be holding only the ones that I have read so far. I haven't read Imagine Me as of the moment that I'm filming this video. So here are the 5 books. So we follow Juliet, who has this lethal touch, and and this is the original trilogy, and then this is the succeeding trilogy, the follow-up, where it made the entire Shatter Me into a series. Now this is already when Juliet is governing, was already in a position of power, and how she has another identity. Well, you gotta read especially these in order to find out what I mean. But I think that Luke is going to be enjoying this because it is dystopian, and I think that it's not too technical, and there's a little bit of a lovey-dovey. There's the entire series. I may not be really a fan of the spice in this series, but maybe that could sort of compensate Luke's reading experience, so we'll see. And I also recommend him a novella by Stephen King, which had something to do with reading and all, and technology. It's short, but I think it's filled with wonderful stories, and that is You Are by Stephen King. That's a novella that I would be recommending him. I'm also going to be recommending You've Reached Sam, which I also recommended to Gab because that's a tearjerker, and I think that is something that he and Gab could bond along. And another book that I read recently, it's not necessarily my favorite, but this might be his favorite because I know that he's so into music. He's into alternative rock, so he probably is into other forms of rock music, and the whole band thing and all that stuff. I'm going to be recommending Luke Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think he's gonna like the show business elements, what it's like to be an artist, a singer, since technically both Luke and Rob are artists themselves. I know that Luke has been into the industry for quite some time, and I feel that there might be certain scenes where might resonate in him, or something that can make him contemplate and think oh, did this happen to me, or do I know somebody who has went through or is going through any of these? So I think that he's going to be enjoying them. So those are the books that I'm going to be recommending to Luke Alford. And it's time for us to recommend books for Rob. Now, I think that Rob is an adventurous person, And I think that he's going to be liking Arusha series, or I should call the Pandava series. Now I've read the first 3 books, or books 1 to 3 in the series. I think that he's gonna like the Indian mythology with some not so Indian mythology, like, you know, things that were added in this book, like the talking palace that was mentioned in the first book. Like, that was totally like Roshni's thing, you know, which is really cute, you know, it's really genius. And I think that this is something that, you know, Rob is going to be hyping, especially towards his fans. And then, of course, something that could help him learn more about the Filipino language or Tagalog would be reading Moymoy Lulumboy, you know, the Moymoy Lulumboy series. I also read the books 1 to 3 of this series, so I hope that he's going to be liking this one. And I know that he is into gaming, I think, or I think that either way, I think he's going to like the little technical stuff without being really too technical, as if reading a technical book. I think he's also going to be liking Slay by Brittany Morris. I like how it does tackle about, like, you know, racism, which I think that it's something that Rob would also like, and at the same time enjoying like how the game was like built, you know, the world of the game. I think it's something that he would be, you know, captivated. And also, speaking of racism, of course, as we all know, The Hate You Give does tackle about it as well, which I believe that Rob is also going to like it. It is kind of alluded to like the 2014 Ferguson, Missouri, like riots. Correct me if I'm wrong if that's what it was called, but, you know, something happened in Ferguson, Missouri back in, I think it was in 2014 or 2013. I think it was 2014 as far as I recall. But correct me in the comments below. So yeah, but I think that he's going to be liking this book. And like I always say, I like how this book talked about opportunities. I think that's the one that is across all cultures. And I think that Rob is going to be having a meaningful yet, like, you know, I guess there's a bit of fun, you know, in terms of his reading experience. I love that scene where they were just watching like NBA or some dancing. It was like, and they were like, you know, rapping and all that stuff. I thought that was heartwarming. So, and then also I'm going to be recommending Rob the Kite Runner, because I think that these are like, he can go with either the lighter ones with like Arusha or Moymoy Lulumboy, a little bit more fantastical, but just a little bit like lighter, because of course they had some serious themes, you know, with fantasy. It does kind of something serious, yet it's being like narrated in a lighter manner. That's kind of like the way it is. Whereas like more contemporary ones makes you feel like this is more of a real life, but it didn't really happen, if you get what I mean. And that's the thing, if you want something a little bit more deeper, he can go with a Kite Runner. I think that that story is just so beautiful, and I think that Rob is going to be enjoying them. So those are the books that I'm going to be recommending for Rob or Robert Blackburn. Let me know down in the comment section below, what books are you going to be recommending to Rob and or Luke, or let me know what you think of any of these books that I talked about in this video. And if you've made it this far, leave a like fist bump emoji towards the left, kind of. I'm going to be showing the emoji. And I hope you folks liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. I'll also be putting down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all. Mwah.